Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. How are we all doing? How has your summer been? I hope you all had a nice summer. What did you get up to? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. I actually didn't get up to very much, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, we are in September now, which technically I know it is still summer. I know that, I am aware of that, but we are in the end months. We're in the Burr months, which are my favourite months ever. I always say I thrive in these months. Like, I genuinely just do not get on with summer at all. But I would still like to know what you all got up to and if you enjoyed it. I didn't actually film anything in August. All the videos that came out were from July. So I'm excited to pick up the camera again, and I just thought today was a perfect day to do it. It is the 2nd of September. It's actually been a really rainy day, and the Great British Bake Off starts today. I'm actually baking a cake purely because Bake Off starts today. So I just thought it would be a nice cozy vlog to start off the cozy season. I've made myself a tea, and I thought we'd just sit and have a little chat before we get on with this vlog, seeing as it's been a while since I've spoke to you. August was a tricky month. I actually have had August was actually one of probably the worst month of the year so far. I had just a massive episode, I guess I want to say, I don't know, just this massive episode of anxiety and panic attacks. And there's something that I deal with on the daily anyway, but over the years you sort of you learn coping mechanisms and therapy and you know. But August was just absolutely dreadful. I didn't go outside. I didn't want to leave my house. I cut myself off from like wanting to spend time with anybody or talk to anybody. I was having panic attacks multiple times a day. I wasn't sleeping. It was really, really difficult. Hence why the no filming, but I just wanted to sort of talk about it a little bit, just because I want to always be very like transparent on here and not that I'm hiding it from you, but I don't want to feel like I'm just coming back and being like, hi, like these are my favourite months now and everything's fine. Like, it's been a bit of a rough time, and I think talking about it opens up the conversation, and I don't want, if anybody else is watching this feeling like that, then you're not alone. But yeah, it's been very difficult. I don't know what's triggered it. I don't know where it came from, but I could feel it for a few months before, and then I could feel it almost building, and then it just, kind of just felt like it exploded everywhere, and I just, cried so much in August. Didn't want to leave the house, and it was really difficult. And yeah, so, but we are trying to pick ourselves back up. I actually had some doctor's appointments and things like that, and I'm still currently in therapy, so I'm just trying to pick myself back up a bit. But if any of you are feeling like that, then I do really encourage you to speak out to somebody, whether that's a doctor or a friend or a family or a teacher, just anybody that you trust. Please reach out. I always leave the links to mental health helplines in my description, so they're always there in every video if you ever need them, because trust me, there are people that want to help you. And I know it can feel very isolated and you feel like nobody understands and nobody knows what you're going through, but please please reach out to somebody, because it's not a weakness to ask for help. It's not a weakness to go to the doctors and get help. It's not a weakness for therapy or medication or just talking about how you're feeling. So please, I encourage you to reach out to somebody that you trust. And you know, even if you feel like it's not that big of a deal, you can handle it on your own, I still encourage you to speak out, because sometimes it can build up and build up, and then it's becomes or feels worse than it would have if you'd talked out earlier, if you know what I mean. But I just want to put that in there, that yeah, it's been a very difficult month and a bit, and if you're feeling like that, then please talk out to somebody. But let's get on to the exciting part of this vlog, because I do feel like now I can start looking forward to things. I don't know, I really don't like summer, and I've just been so excited for the end part of the year. And it is the 2nd of September, and I've put my cozy jumper on. It's raining, and I've got my tea, and this is, I mean, it's great. I have actually also started watching the Gilmore Girls, which I've never watched before, and I don't know how I've never watched it. Like, I feel like I see it everywhere, because all on my For You page and whatnot is just autumn and this and that, and I'm like, how have I never watched the Gilmore Girls? Like, I've seen people talk about it all the time. So I started watching it a couple of weeks ago. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Oh my gosh, it gives me just all the cozy vibes. I love the characters. Like, I am so obsessed with it. Like, I have it, I keep, like, for the past couple of days it's just been on my iPad. I've been taking my iPad with me everywhere and having it on in the background. I absolutely love it. Like, I get the hype with it now. So let me know, have any of you watched the Gilmore Girls? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I feel like, I want to say there's 7 seasons, but I could be wrong. Are all 7 seasons good? Because sometimes I know they can do too many, and like it doesn't feel the same. No spoilers though, please. So yes, I've started watching that, which I'm excited about. But yeah, as I said earlier, the Great British Bake Off is on today, which actually I feel like it's on earlier this year than normal. I feel like it's on earlier this year than normal. I feel like normally it's sort of the end part of September it's on, but it's starts today, right at the beginning of September. And in true fashion, I'm going to bake a cake. And I'm actually going to bake a carrot cake, and I've never baked a carrot cake before, ever, and it's one of my favourite cakes ever. I've just never attempted to bake it. I don't know if it's because it's one of my favourite cakes. I'm like, I just don't know if I'd do a very good job, and like, I don't want to ruin it. But we are going to give that a go today. So that is what we're going to do. I'm very excited about it. So then we can have a slice this evening with a cup of tea and watch Bake Off, which is just my perfect evening, to be quite frank. I actually do want to, I'm trying to muster up the courage to go into town and go to TK Maxx, because there's a Home Sense on the top floor, and I know they've got all their autumn and Halloween stuff, but I'm too scared to leave the house. But I'm really trying to muster, even if like going to town and just go to that one shop and then leave, I'm gonna try and muster up the courage to go. So that vlog could be coming soon, or if I feel too scared to vlog, I will make sure to film a TikTok and post that on TikTok and probably Instagram. So there will be some sort of content, hopefully, of TK Maxx / Home Sense, because I really want to get a new mug. That's like the main thing I want. And like, just, oh, it's just like TK Maxx at this time of the year is just amazing. So that, I'm hopefully going to be doing that soon. But yeah, I'm just trying to get into all the cozy feels. I actually have these, which I kind of want to try, and I thought we would try them together. They're already open because my sister had one. But they're these cinnamon rolls, and I've never seen them before or ever heard of them, but we got our HelloFresh delivered this week, and these came free with them. So I thought we'd try these because, oh, cinnamon rolls, I love them. Let's give one a go. They don't smell very cinnamony, to be honest, but they're okay. Not bad, but they're not bad, but I wouldn't go out and buy these myself. But obviously, because we got them because we got given them with our box for free. Like, I'll quite happily snack on them, but I wouldn't go out and pay money for them. Probably me just being fussy, but I think it's because it doesn't have any of the icing and things on top, which normally like cinnamon buns do. But still good, but wouldn't buy myself. I'm not sure what this angle is looking like, but apologies if this is bad, because I really hope I don't go to edit this and it's terrible. Also, my hair, please excuse my hair today. I washed it yesterday, so it's very fluffy, so it's had two clips in the front, pulled back in a bun. Anyway, but before I get on to baking my cake, I thought I would just show you, because I find this interesting because I don't even have a child, but I find it interesting just because I love children's books and they make me feel very nostalgic, and I just love all the illustrations and things, so I love watching things like this. But my niece stayed over recently and she always has a story before bed. I always read her one, and we have a decent pile of books here, but we don't, whereas she has been obviously she stays over a lot, we are sort of going through the same books. And I thought, well, seeing as when she stayed over last, she stayed for 4 nights, so I thought I'd pop to the library and pick some books out that I think she might like. So I thought I'd quickly run through them just in case anyone is interested on the books that I picked up, because I just think children's books are just so gorgeous looking. Like, I would love to have adult books like this, because I just miss being a kid and seeing all the illustrations and all the fun stories. But books I've got, I won't take too long to run through this just in case you're not interested, but we have got Ready Steady Squirrel, and this one she really enjoyed. It's basically about a squirrel that is determined that she can gather all the food for the winter on her own, but then discovers that she does need some help. She really enjoyed this. Then we've obviously got the classic Pants, but this is Animal Pants, and I picked this up because I knew she loved it. She's read it many times. We just don't have the book here, so picked this one up, and it's very self-explanatory. It's got all different types of pants that animals wear. And we have got Owls Are Cool, which she loves animals, so there's kind of a theme here because they're all animal books, because she is like a, what's the word, encyclopedia, I think, is that the right word, of animals. She knows so many facts about them. She just adores them. So much of her conversations are about animals. So we picked up Owls Are Cool. This book is about 2 owls becoming friends. And yeah, it's a story and journey of their friendship. Another classic, The Hungry Caterpillar. I remember reading this to her when she was little, and that's how I sort of got her to, this helped her learn to read and understand words. She loved it, and especially counting as well. So, I mean, I'd be very surprised if you're watching this and you don't know what The Hungry Caterpillar is, because it's just an absolute classic. Then we have got Snail in Space. This was the first book that I saw in the library and just instantly picked up because I just knew she'd find it funny. It's actually a really lovely story. It's basically about a snail pursuing and following their dream. And then I think literally, am I right? Yeah, every single book is an animal book, so still going with the animal theme. This is a book called Just Like You, and this is a really lovely, beautiful story actually. It's about a parent and a child's love and their bond, and yeah, I thought this was a really lovely book. Then we have got The Bookshop Cat, which might have been one of her favourites. When I say she loves animals, cats are her absolute favourite. She's obsessed with them, which is good because I have 6 cats. Maybe that's why she's obsessed with them. And this is just a very fun book about a cat working in a bookshop, and I really love the illustrations in this book. The style of these illustrations are just so gorgeous. I love them. But yeah, she really enjoyed this one. This was definitely her favourite. Then we've got another owl one, and this is Tiny Owl's Scary Day. This is basically about an owl that goes out during the day when he shouldn't, and sort of learning and discovering what it's like during the daytime. Another classic, The Gruffalo's Child. She absolutely loves these books. She's actually got this at home. I'm sure I bought it for her for like Christmas last year or the year before, but we don't have it here, so I of course picked this up. Again, I'd be very surprised if you don't know the Gruffalo stories. The thing is, things like this make me feel very nostalgic and very like festive, because we always have these little short ones, like, you know, like the little short episodes or like films or things. They have like the Gruffalo's Child, the Gruffalo, Stickman. They always have them on around Christmas time, so we always sit and watch them with her. And so it makes me feel very festive, even though it's not really anything to do with Christmas apart from the fact that it is snowy, but it does make me feel very festive. But of course, we had to pick up the Gruffalo's Child. But yes, they are all the books we picked up. I actually went to a bookshop when we were in the Cotswolds, many bookshops to be fair, and there was this one that had really old children's books in there. Like, do you remember Percy the Park Keeper, which I'd completely forgotten about, but I used to love Percy the Park Keeper. I used to have so many of his books, and like the little show that would be on. And then there's Harry McClary. Does anybody remember that? Funny Bones. Oh my gosh, there was one more. Not Now Bernard. Do you remember Not Now Bernard? Like, I was just such a big bookworm when I was a kid. I still am, but when I was a kid, like, we would spend hours in our local library, which is about a 15-minute walk from us, and we still go there to this day for me to get books or to get Fifi books, or sometimes I just like to sit in there and read. I find the library such a comforting place because it's so quiet. My one is, any library should be quiet anyway, and it never gets very busy, and like the smell of the library, the smell of the book, like, it's just one of my favorite places ever. And I love it because it's still the same as when I was a kid. Like, they haven't really updated it or anything. They've only updated the fact that now when you get a book you can do it yourself on like the self scanners. Like, I remember back in the day I used to love watching them they'd stamp the books with your date on that you'd have to return them, but now obviously it's all online. But apart from that, it's like stayed pretty much exactly the same, and I just love being there. Like, I just love a library. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you the books we've got. Do you have any childhood books that like make you feel really nostalgic, or ones that you would always read? Like, even when I got a bit older, I'd read like the fairy books. Does anybody remember the fairy books? And there was like a whole big collection. I loved those, and of course Jacqueline Wilson. But what were some of your favourite books or authors when you were growing up? So we are back in the kitchen. It feels like ages since I've actually like baked with you. I feel like I did it a lot in June when I was vlogging every day. So I am of course using Jane's patisserie recipe. As I said, I never really ever use anything else, and out of the cookbooks there isn't a carrot cake recipe in the cookbook, so I have looked her one up online, which I will leave in the description below. But what we need is 225 ml of sunflower oil, 5 medium eggs, 275 grams of light brown sugar, 300 grams of grated carrots, 100 grams of raisins, optional, zest of 1 orange, 275 grams of self-raising flour, 1.5 teaspoons of bicarbonate soda, 2 teaspoons of mixed spice, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 100 grams of walnuts / chopped pecans, but they're optional. I haven't actually got those because I couldn't find any. And then for the buttercream, on this specific recipe, she uses a vanilla buttercream, but I found one on her website for cream cheese frosting, which is what I'm going to use because that's usually what carrot cake is paired with. So I'll leave those both in the description below. I'm also trying to film a TikTok at the same time as filming this, so we'll see how that goes and how long this takes me. But what are we going to be doing first? Because I actually have no idea because I've never baked a carrot cake. So I've preheated the oven to gas mark 4. Pour the sunflower oil and eggs into a large bowl and add the light brown sugar. Mix lightly and combine. I feel like, do I need my KitchenAid for this? I'm kind of wondering whether this is something that could be done without the KitchenAid. I don't know. It does say try not to overmix. No, I'll just do it very lightly. I'll do it on the lowest speed of my KitchenAid. So what was that? Sunflower and eggs. So we need 225 mils of sunflower oil. If we can get it open, am I being silly? Am I being really silly right now? Why can I not open it? Ah, there we go. I put too much in. I need a spoon. Spoon that back in, or is that going to be a mess? Nah, there we go. We do not waste anything in this household. There we go. Perfect. Let's put that back in there, and then we need the 5 eggs. I remember, do you know what, one thing I've realised is like when I was younger and I used to bake cakes, like the most you'd put in a cake was 2 eggs, but now all these recipes, which they do come out better, so I'm not complaining, but now you need so many eggs in them. Let's put in the eggs. I really need to get one of those tripods, because what you didn't just see was I've got a shell in here. Gosh, I can't get the shell out, it's stuck in the oil. Yeah, I really need to get one of those like tripods for my phone things, so you have loads of different angles, because what you didn't just see was me pause this to crack 2 eggs in here and have my mum film me cracking 2 eggs to make this TikTok. So I definitely need to invest in a little tripod for the TikToks. Okay, so there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs in there. And then we're going to add in the brown sugar. We need 275 grams of light brown sugar. Let me put this back to grams, because we don't want to be doing that, do we? The smell of light brown sugar just makes me feel like so... It just reminds me of autumn, because, and like Christmas, because it's such like a sweet flavour that like all baking I feel like smells like this at this time of the year. So we're going to put 275 grams of that in. Then I'm going to just pop this on the not the highest. I'm going to pop this on the lowest speed and mix that just until it's all combined together, because it does say twice in here to sort of mix lightly and don't over mix, so we're just going to do it just until it's all mixed together. I'm always convinced when I bake a new cake that I'm doing something wrong, or like I've missed out a part of the recipe, and you're about to run out of battery, so let me quickly change that. I did just make such a mess grating these carrots, but I have grated, I actually don't know how many I've grated, I've just grated like to a certain extent, and then I'm going to see how much more I need. So we need 300 grams of this, and I'm hoping this is nearly enough, because I just like, even just cheese and things, I hate grating anything, but yeah, okay, this is going to be nowhere near enough. Let me check, is it definitely 300? Yeah. Well, that was 106 grams, so we have a long way to go. Honestly, there was no need for me to do an upper body workout this morning, because that was a workout in itself. I can't describe how long that just took me. I was not anticipating how long that would take and how many carrots I would need to use. But all the carrots are now in the bowl. What are we doing next? Add the grated carrots and raisins and orange zest. Okay, so we need 100 grams of raisins. Perfect, 100. And then what was it? So 1 orange zest. It's quite a big orange, but I'm assuming this will be fine. I'm not gonna lie, the mixture doesn't look great. Because we've got so many things going on, and we haven't got any dry ingredients really yet, apart from the sugar, so it looks a little bit off-putting. So now we're gonna add the dry ingredients. So I'm going to add the self-raising flour, which we need another 275 grams of bicarbonate of soda, which is 1.5 teaspoons. So if I get 1 teaspoon and then half a teaspoon. And then we need the spices, which is personally my favourite bit. So we need the mixed spice, ginger and cinnamon. So 2 teaspoons of the mixed spice. 2. And then 1 teaspoon of the ginger and 1 teaspoon of the cinnamon. Now I'm going to put this on the low setting on my KitchenAid and just let that mix until it's all combined, and then we're actually all done. So to be fair, it's quite an easy cake to make, but grating the carrots does take a wee bit of time. I've popped the cake mixture now in the cake tin. I don't know if you can see that, obviously I can't tip it up too much. And I'm going to bake these in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll put a timer on for 15 and then turn it round, put it on for another 15, and we'll see how they cook. So once these are baked and while they're cooling, we can make the cream cheese frosting. But they actually smell, they smell amazing. Like, I love the smell of ginger. That's probably one of my favourite smells. That is the smell that reminds me of like Christmas baking, is ginger. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, these will rise. The cakes are now out of the oven and they're cooling. They look, from what I can see, they're not out the tins yet. They look like they've come out well. So fingers crossed that once they're out the tins, one, they don't fall apart, and 2, they have risen as much as I think they have. But now I'm going to make the cream cheese frosting. Of course, as I said earlier, Jane's patisserie recipe. I will link them down below. And what we need for that is 150 grams of butter, 150 grams of icing sugar, and 300 grams of cream cheese. And then it says 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, optional, but I don't actually have any, so I'm not gonna put that in. I have these cherries left, which I might use to decorate the top of the cake. Just pop some cherries on, because I don't have any like walnuts or like little like sugar candy carrot things. So I might put some little cherries on just because I've got them. So I feel like that could look quite cute, and it's got raisins and spices in, so I feel like the cherry will taste alright with it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But let's get to making the icing, which is very simple. I'm just going to pop my butter in the KitchenAid and leave that on a medium setting for about 5 minutes until it goes like a pale colour. 20 grams off. There. Yeah, and I'm just gonna pop this on, and then we can put the icing sugar and the cream cheese in. That's been mixing for about 5 minutes. It still looks a little bit yellow in the camera, but it is gone. It's gone a lot lighter than when I first put it in. And now I'm going to add in the icing sugar, which we need 150 grams of icing sugar. So a lot less than you'd normally put in if you weren't making cream cheese. And then I'm going to put that again on a medium speed for just a couple of minutes until that's all mixed in. This over the top because icing sugar does go everywhere. So now, do we just pop all of this in at once? Yeah, so we can just pop all of this in like that. Mix that all up again on a medium speed for a couple of minutes, and then we'll see how it turns out. So the buttercream is all done now, and I can't remember what the last clip you saw was, but I know it was something to do with making this, and it actually, the buttercream all split, so I had to chuck it away and get some new cream cheese and just completely start again, and it's come out perfect this time. I don't know what happened, but I actually didn't use the recipe in the end. I sort of just did it by eye, and it's come out perfect. So a little bit annoying, but at least we got there in the end. And now my cakes are just cooling. Let me show you, because I've taken them out of the tins now. This is how they turned out. I think they turned out really well, and they're not too uneven. Normally I find it difficult to get it perfectly even cake. You just need to cool down for say another half an hour or so more, and then we can put all the icing on top. But yeah, that took a very long time to make, seeing as the first one didn't come out very good. It's actually a couple of days later now from the day of this vlog. I've just been editing it, and in this next clip, this whole next clip, I don't think it's in the next ones after this clip, but definitely this next one, I have, where I've been baking, I have some sort of flour or something on my face, right here on my chin cheek. And I just wanted to put this clip in because I didn't know it was there at the time. I know it's there now. I know it's annoying. I was just going to take the whole clip out, but then I was like, no, that's not worth taking a whole clip out just because I've got some flour or something on my chin. But I just wanted to pop in here and say, I know I have got it on my face, and I'm sorry if it's bothering you, because trust me, it is bothering me. I've just sat down because I thought I would quickly show you a couple of things, literally just two things, that I've picked up from Primark recently. To be fair, I didn't pick them up. I saw them online and then asked my sister to pick them up for me. But before I do that, I just wanted to quickly say, just quickly talk about, very quickly, smear tests. So I know that probably seems very random to just come at you with that, but I actually got my results letter through the post this afternoon, and I just thought, I feel like it's something I want to mention. So if you don't know, I'm not sure what it is in other places, but I know in the UK, once you turn 25, you normally get the letter a couple of months before you turn 25, but when you're turning 25, you get a letter through the post to book your smear test. And what they do is they check for abnormal cells like HPV. I'm pretty sure that's what they test for. And I got mine through, and I was so nervous to book it. Like, I'd been dreading turning 25 purely for the fact of I was worried about having a smear test done. I knew it wasn't going to be something I put off doing, because I'm quite strict on myself and my health, just because of past things and certain conditions I have. I'm quite strict on it, so I knew I was going to go, but I was very nervous. And I had that about 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, or nearing 3 weeks ago. And I actually had a blood test on that same day. I literally went in for my blood test and went straight into the smear test. So it was a little bit full on, but I was absolutely like dreading it. I was so nervous. I thought it was gonna, I don't know what I was expecting, but I came out of that appointment. It literally took 5 minutes. The actual smear test took not even a minute to do. And I came out of that and I was just like, why was I actually so worried about that? I was so scared. Obviously, experiences are different for every woman on how it's going to feel, pain-wise, who your nurse is, you know, where you have it done, blah, blah, blah. But I just wanted to just mention it, and hopefully maybe this could be, if you're putting it off or you're scared, it's not embarrassing, it's not disgusting to talk about, it's not, you know, it's absolutely fine. If you're a bit nervous about it, talk to maybe someone in your family that's had it done, or talk to your doctor or GP about your concerns, or book the appointment. And before you have it done, just say to them that you are nervous, that, you know, you're not sure what to expect, and they'll talk you all through it. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on and mention it and say that I had it done and it was absolutely fine. My results came back fine. There was no abnormal cells, so I don't have to have another one for 5 years. So yeah, if you're looking for a sign, or if you've got a smear test that needs to be booked and you haven't booked it because you're nervous about it, book it. I literally was telling myself this all throughout the week leading up to the appointment, and then my nurse literally said it to me. She was like, it's literally, the actual test is, say, 1 minute of your life, and it could quite frankly save your life. And and catch things very early, to the point where if you didn't have it done, it could be a lot worse down the line. So it will be fine, and just try and get it booked in, because yeah, I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect, but honestly it was absolutely fine. It didn't hurt at all. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but it didn't hurt. But obviously everyone's different, but it will only be a very small portion of your life, a very small portion of your day. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, because I know that so many people put it off and are scared about it, but it will all be fine, I promise. Anyway, on to different things now. What I picked up in Primark. First thing that I picked up, which actually every time someone would go into my local Primark, they like my sister or whatnot would go into Primark and I'd be like, did they have these pyjamas? They'd be like, no. And I'm like, I see them all over TikTok and I can't find them anywhere. Then my sister went into Blue Water yesterday and I said, can you please see if they have these pyjamas? Because I knew that the Blue Water one would most definitely probably have them. And they are the Gilmore Girl pyjamas, because as I said, I started watching it about a month ago and absolutely obsessed. Absolutely love it. And what perfect time for Primark to come out with Gilmore Girl pyjamas. So I've got these. They did have these ones and the button-up ones, but the button-up ones they didn't have in my size. But I do love these. So you've got the little t-shirt, which I think is just so nice. And then it says a jumbo coffee morning, and then you've got the little Gilmore Girls on the back. And these are the trousers. They're just long, wide leg. They're kind of a nice, I don't want to say fleecy, but they're quite a nice thickish material, softer than some of the other ones I've got. And then the waistband, it just says Gilmore Girls, and then you've got little coffee cups, and then the little Gilmore Girls logo. I think it's so cute. I absolutely love them. So yeah, that's a little pair. Pick those up because my downfall to specifically Primark is their pyjamas. I'm not like, a lot of the time I'll go in there and I won't really like any of the clothes they have in there, but pyjamas, I'm always going to find a pair of pyjamas I like, quite frankly. And then I also got this little cardigan, which it's so perfect for autumn. It's this little cardigan. I actually have a blue one that's pretty much similar, just the buttons are different. And it's got two little pockets at the front. It's quite thick. I actually got this in a large because I wanted it to be quite oversized. I have a lot of cardigans that are like normally fitted, like they're not baggy, they're not tight, they're just, you know, kind of just right fitted. But I really wanted like a baggy one, so like a jumper, but it's a cardigan. So I picked up this one and I just think it's such a cute colour for autumn. I love it because most cardigans I normally wear buttoned up, so I'll just wear it like this. But yeah, that is what I picked up. This was £20, which I know a lot of people will say that's quite expensive Primark, because let's be honest, Primark prices are going up. They're not Primark prices anymore. I mean, the pyjamas cost me £24 altogether, which I know it's probably because they're branded, but Primark pyjamas are going up, I have noticed. But this, I don't mind paying that because it's so thick. It's thicker than this jumper, to be honest. Also, current book that I'm reading at the moment, because I have finished, let me get them actually. So, last time I spoke to you, I was reading A Court of Wings and Ruin, and I always read a Harry Potter book on the side, and I was reading the Mina Lima edition of Prisoner of Azkaban. I don't even have words to describe this book. I can't even tell you how much I love this series. First book was like alright, took me a while to get in. I was like, yeah, it's not bad. Second book, third book, there were so many moments nearing the end here where I thought I didn't want to carry on reading the series, because I was like, no, if these people are not in the next books, I am not participating in reading them. But we will be moving on to the next book. So I have finished that. I just love it. I can't believe that I've never really massively got into like fantasy. obviously I love Harry Potter books, but apart from sort of that, like stuff like this I've never got into, and this is just amazing. So if anybody knows what I should read after I finished the Court of Thorns and Roses series, please do let me know. But I finished that one and I finished Prisoner of Azkaban. So now I'm currently reading, I've got a few. First of all, of course, A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is the follow-on. I was very disappointed when I found out it was this small, but honestly, the next one makes up for it, but I was very shocked to see it was this small. But I think after this, we needed this. I can't really tell you much about this, but I do love that it is from different perspectives. That is what I'm loving, but I haven't got very far into it, so I can't give you much of a rundown yet, so that will have to be in the next vlog. Then I'm also reading, on my Kindle, I am reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, As Good as Dead, which is the last one in the series, I believe. I think there's only 3, isn't there? So I'm currently reading that, which I am on chapter 10 at the minute, and not loving it at the moment as much as the other ones, but obviously I'm going to read it because I've read the first 2. And then obviously we've got Harry Potter. I've gone back to Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, so of course I've always got to have one to go, purely because I really wanted to read Goblet of Fire, but the Goblet of Fire edition, it's not Mina Lima anymore, is it? I can't remember who it is. That comes out in October, so I didn't want to read my normal edition of Goblet of Fire and then buy that and then reread it again. So I'm going back to Philosopher's Stone until I get my hands on the next Goblet of Fire edition. So they are the books that I am currently reading. But yeah, I just can't rave about this enough. Literally blows my mind. Like, I'm sitting in bed at night and I'm like talking out loud, or I need to put the book down for a moment, or I find myself like trying to skip ahead to make sure they don't die and having to like cover the bottom of the page so my eyes don't scan down there. But it's absolutely brilliant. What would be better for the top? I feel like this one, because it's got a little thin bit, and I like to have the more, actually, I might have this as the top one. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have this as the top one, because this a little bit come out of with the baking paper, so we can hide that. Yeah, might be the one time I've made the correct amount of buttercream, because normally I have loads left over. Oh, actually, maybe no, I won't have that much left over, I don't think, actually. That is the first layer done, so that's going to be in the middle. Oh no, my battery's going to die. Do the top of this and we'll put it together and put some of the little cherries on the top, and then I will show you what our end result will be. Hopefully it'll be good. How good it's turned out. And then it's got the little cherries on top. The sponges came out so good. I remember one time I made a birthday cake for somebody and they came out that big. But that, I'm so happy with that. Hopefully it tastes alright. I'm gonna try a bit. We can have a cup of tea and a slice of cake when Bake Off comes on, but I mean, at least it looks good. You can't really go wrong. As long as you follow the recipe, I'm sure it will taste all right, hopefully. It is a lot later on now, so I do apologise about the lighting because we've got the big light on in the kitchen. But we have had dinner. Mum made lamb shepherd's pie today. It was really yummy. And now it is 8:30. Bake Off actually started at 8 PM, but we were watching something, so I have put it on record. It's 8:30 now, so I'm just about to make a tea. I'm gonna make a bedtime tea, and it's the Yorkshire tea bedtime brew. This is one of my favourite teas ever. So I'm gonna make one of those and have a slice of my cake, because for Bake Off it is Cake Week, which I didn't know for certain, but I know that they normally start with Cake Week, so it's perfect that I've made the cake. So we're gonna cut this and give it a go, and I'm so excited for Bake Off, honestly. It brings me so much happiness. I press play. Let's try my cake. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's yummy. That literally tastes near on exactly like the carrot cake that I always get at Muffin Break. That's delicious. Do you know, actually, no, it really tastes like last year I went to a firework display and at Leeds Castle, and they had this carrot cake which I got. That's exactly what it tastes like, especially the frosting. I'm gonna sit and I am going to watch Bake Off, which I'm so excited about. I've got my tea. I'm actually really glad that Bake Off's on at the beginning of September, because it kind of feels like we're getting into the autumn months earlier than normal. I'm going to end this vlog here. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for spending the day with me, and hopefully I will see you all very soon.